So let's watch these videos about how men fall in love. Let's see.
So then I got to thinking, what are the qualities that men really are not just attracted to, but more importantly, what do they fall in love with? How do we fall in love with another person? Now, some of you might not like the terminology of falling in love, but what is deep love? Like, what is deep love? Let's explore that for a moment. I think it's when you reach a point where you genuinely can trust this other person. And
Yeah.
trust isn't just about fidelity, and trust isn't the capacity to share yourself with another person. I think it's important to look at trust from the perspective of, does this person have my best interest at heart? When they're thinking about their life, are they also thinking about my life?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about whether or not, like, if you guys are in a relationship and you guys are committing crimes, will she snitch on you? Right? It's about that type of love, that type of trust that you have in that person. But I mean, most guys, yeah, I mean, guys want to know that they could trust a woman 100%. And usually the trust is, what are you here for? Do you love me for me or do you love me for other things? But I don't think that's how guys fall in love when this happens. I mean, yeah, actually, when I could trust her, yeah, because the trust feels like a family trust. And I think that's really when the guy is in love with you, when he starts to see you as family. And in order to get to that place, well, they need to trust you. Like at the end of the day, they need to feel like that they could trust you. So it is true. And that trust is like the trust that you have of a family member, you know?
Men fall in love in a woman's absence, whereas in a woman, we will fall in love when a man is pursuing us, courting us, and sending nice messages to us and following that up with action. When I'm around my partner and I'm feeling safe with him and I'm able to expand more into my femininity. So I'm goofy, I'm playful, I'm relaxed. I'm actually feeling closer and closer to him. Whereas when I'm not with him, I forget about him in a way. Like my mind is not toward him because I'm so busy in my own life. And it's one of those things where it's like out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, but hey, man, we can't be that cold, right? Like, that's you see, this is where, and I I bet she's right. I think she's right, but a lot of people will misunderstand this and say that you got to be cold and distant. There's way too many coaches out there preaching to people to be cold, to be distant, to not show any vulnerability, and that's usually because they're afraid to get hurt at the end of the day. And I don't think that's how you date people. You can't date being scared, you know. Like so, people
If
get
you want to make a man fall for you, you have to know one thing about men. The most important and sensitive part of every man's being is his ego. And the reason a man falls for a woman is always because she does something to him that inflates that ego. If you're dating this guy and you know that he likes you, but you want him to fall really hard for you, all you need to do is to find out what it
okay. See, this is 2020, Alex. Okay, she's talking about inflicting pain, and this is the thing. Yes, they get attached. They're pain like what connects them isn't a spiritual love. What connects them is pain, ego. I want to win. Nothing. And the problem with that is that it creates a opaque layer between you and the other person, like where you don't have that connection with that person. You get what I'm saying? So it can't be ego because ego is too fragile, and ego turns anything good into bad. So if you have to pull away, if you have to do that one trick that Father Alex says to do, that then it is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit difficult for them to like you, to fall in love.
actually is that he likes about you. And when he tells you, I love it when you wear your hair down, it's so sexy, then obviously the next time you go out, you wear your hair down. What will happen is that he won't just feel better about himself because he's proud to walk next to this beautiful woman. He will also feel better about himself because he sees that you listen to him. Because even though in the times that we live,
It's true. It's true, actually.
a man might be hesitant to admit this. Every man in his subconscious mind desires to be with a woman who is submissive to the needs of his ego.
Yes. Okay, that makes a good. That makes a lot. I agree. I agree. I actually agree with her. I actually agree with her. You're catering to his ego. That's actually very true. I agree. Crazy lady, you're right. She's right. Very good point, actually. Very good point. Holy shit, that's actually a really good point. I'm not saying that in a condescending way. That's actually a really good point. Um, oh Lord, Latina, what she has to say.
How do you describe the process of falling in love? Like, what does that feel
Not be
like
Matthew
for a
Hussey.
man? Because I'm sure for a girl, it's completely different.
For me personally, to fall in love with someone, I have to try my best to avoid it. Like I feel like women run towards it. Like I will run away as far as I can from it. Run and run and run and run away. And every time I run, it leads back to the same place, which is her. That's how I know.
Mm-hmm. How do you describe the process of falling in love? Like, what does that?
Look, the process of falling in love for guys is it's hypnotic for everyone, actually. And you don't notice it. You kind of notice it right when it's gonna finalize, but in the first few meetings where you're falling, you don't notice it. You just say, "Oh, I get along with this person," and it's when they can't see you, when the realization hits them like a thunderbolt. But that requires absence, you know.
How guys fall in love versus how girls fall in love. You guys are falling in love quickly. You see a girl and just looking at her, you're already in love with her. You already think that she's the one and you think she's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. Women, on the other hand, are going to evaluate you a lot more. Women fall in love over time. They don't just see a guy and instantly fall in love with him. And they see a guy, they're attracted to him. The things that you do, and over the course of time of her getting to know you, that's how she falls in love with you. How guys fall in love versus how girls fall in love. You guys are falling in love quickly. You
The problem is that guys don't fall in love quickly. I mean, they do fall in love faster than women. That's true. But guys confuse love with lust a little bit more than women do. Like our dicks are too connected with our hearts. Oh God, here, look at him. It's too connected.
Please,
So,
please.
and so we sort of don't. We have a tough time telling the difference. You know, like a guy might feel like he loves you, but it might be that he's so fucking super needy that he barely gets options, and now you paid attention, and now he loves you. Like it's how some guys are. You know. Um, Let me see. Where's this?
Please remember this truth. It's okay to be disappointed that someone you were with didn't turn out to be the one for you, but you mustn't grieve as if they were the one for you.
Yes, but man, I feel like Matthew has to be like Googling ChatGPT quotes. Like he's always saying some like quote, quotable thing. Maybe that's how he talks, But that makes a lot of sense. That does make a lot of sense. Um, and that's very healthy detachment. Exactly. Like it's high intention, low attachment. And and that usually, it's very difficult if you're somebody that's really traumatized and you have a lot of emotional baggage. That's really hard to do. It's really hard to do to not be creepy, because it's part of your creepy nature. You can't help yourself. You can't help yourself but feel this intense emotion. You can't, but and those are the harder ones to do that. Like people who have an anxious attachment style.